Caitlin participated in a leadership summit at the Honor.
You might remember at the end of Caitlin Clark's basketball season, the WNBA Rookie of the Year said, I'm going to go and become a professional golfer in the offseason.
Caitlin Clark is in Florida juggling a full schedule that includes media appearances, charitable events, and her participation in the LPGA Prom Nianica at Pelican Golf Club. She is making headlines not only for her dominance on the basketball court, but also for a strong statement she made during a recent women's leadership forum.
I think everybody talks about like the effect that we have on them, but also they have the same effect on us. And I think that's what's really cool about it is to see how much joy it really brings them, and it brings their families. And that one game where they spend 2 hours of their whole entire year has such an impact on their entire childhood. And I think that's really cool to think about.
But in the middle of all of this, it was her adamant speech at the forum that grabbed attention and gave a strong message to the other WNBA players. Her statement set the tone for her future career and displayed a mindset based on unwavering ambition. What did she say that has everyone talking? Before we break it down, please remember to subscribe to the channel. Are you ready? Let's go. In this video, we'll examine her participation in the various LPGA events this week, her motivation to play golf, basketball, and other competitive sports, what important warnings she sent to the rest of the WNBA, and how this message transcends basketball and points to a historic season ahead.
The points you score, it's the amount of joy that you can bring people and the young girls that will one day grow up to hopefully, be whatever they want to be and get to talk about those moments too.
Although Caitlin Clark is renowned for her revolutionary on-court performances, her impact goes much beyond that. At the most recent Women's Leadership Forum in Florida, she gave insightful speeches about her motivations, emphasizing her desire to uplift young women and promote the development of women's sports. Play isn't just about winning or scoring points. It's also about the times when a little girl at a game, she passionately conveyed these personal experiences that inspire her purpose, demonstrating that basketball is more than just a game for Clark. It's a platform for influence. She smiles, shouts, or often breaks down as I wave.
What does the word leadership mean to you on and off the court?
Her leadership talk at the forum struck a deep chord as she emphasized that developing sincere relationships is the key to having real impact. This idea of connectedness stems from her early years, when going to games and mingling with athletes influenced her goals for her current prominent role. Knowing that she represents more than just herself when she takes the court, Clark is aware of the impact her actions have.
But I think the thing about leadership is like how you approach every single person is going to be completely different. And I think the thing that's helped me be successful throughout my career has been the relationships that I've been able to build with people. And every single person you have to approach differently because they come from a different background, they come from a different place. Somebody can be a little more tenderhearted, and for me, I probably want to be screamed at. Like, it's just everybody's a little bit different. So I think that's what's unique about leadership and being able to understand people, but that takes time, and building relationships is really important.
Her week in Florida consists of more than just speaking engagements. Caitlin's involvement in the LPGA tournament further exemplifies her diverse approach to leadership and sports. It goes beyond simply competing and embodies the idea that success stems from fearlessly taking on new roles and challenges, whether it be competing against more seasoned golfers or inspiring audiences as a public speaker. What makes Clark unique is the way she moves fluidly between roles as a basketball star, motivational speaker, and now a golfer competing in a high-profile event. This flexibility highlights her belief in lifelong learning and personal development. Clark is creating bridges that inspire and uplift women everywhere. It's not only about winning, it's also about demonstrating that athletes can be dynamic, changing people who seize chances outside of their own arena.
Having my first W season behind me and being able to be here is super cool. And honestly, I've tried to take as much of the time as I can to practice, but there's only so much hope. So you just cross your fingers, pray. But no, I've practiced a little bit.
As we get closer to Clark's memorable moment at the forum, which was a strong statement indicating her fierce ambition, we'll break down what she said to her WNBA rivals and what it means for the league's future. If you've watched this far and found the video entertaining, please remember to like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. We understand that watching this video takes up some of your time, so thank you, and let's get back to the action.
What's your biggest motivator?
My biggest motivator? Oh man.
I think wanting to be the best. Like, I don't want anyone to be better than me. And whatever it is, like, I just want to be better than everybody else.
When asked what motivates her, Clark's remarks at the Leadership Forum were not only motivational, they were a forceful challenge that reverberated throughout the WNBA and beyond the event space. Clark's response was laser-focused and unapologetically ferocious. I just want to be better than everyone else, not better than anyone else in anything. Those who have followed Clark's journey from Iowa to her historic rookie season with the Indiana Fever will not be surprised by this statement, which summarized not only her approach to basketball, but also her larger athletic philosophy. Her unmatched competitive spirit has always been present in everything she does, but this forum showed an even more profound side of her: constant self-responsibility.
I'm very real with myself too. Like, I know when I maybe haven't done my best in something, and I'm going to be the first person to look in the mirror and know what I need to get better at. And so I think those two things, that's what, helps me be the best is, I can be very honest and real with myself. And I think at times that's what, definitely the younger generation struggles with, is they always want to point fingers, but, you always got to look at yourself first and see how you can improve. So, I think it's that. I just want to be better than everybody else.
For the WNBA, this is more than just another competitor speaking with assurance. Clark's remarks acted as a clear warning to both her rivals and peers that the Caitlin Clark of 2025 will not simply rest on her previous achievements, but will instead return stronger, wiser, and more unrelenting. The WNBA, which witnessed Caitlin Clark break 62 records, must now get ready for an even more polished version of her game. She will be a far better version of herself in 2025, and the league has just received a warning. What does this mean for her opponents? It means getting ready for an athlete who is always changing, who views weaknesses as obstacles to overcome, and who uses criticism as motivation to advance. It is uncommon for athletes of any age, much less one as young as Clark, to possess this mindset of self-analysis and constant improvement.
I mean, it's not even something you're really ever aware of, breaking records or, it's just something that comes with playing the game the right way. I feel like I just come out here and try to, play basketball in a way that people love watching, in a way that is going to make my team successful, and the records and whatever, or the stats, that's just what comes with it.
This philosophy not only improves her performance, but also establishes a new standard for what it means to compete at the greatest level. Her quest for excellence affects not just her individual performance, but the entire WNBA environment. So teams and players now need to plan for a player who can quickly adjust, analyze her flaws, and come up with remedies that increase her strength. Her announcement is more than simply rhetoric. It's a roadmap that spoke to the demanding office. She clearly implies what she says in her court work. Clark's preparation is a declaration of war against complacency rather than merely a habit. This warning reverberates far beyond the court. It's a signal that Caitlin Clark is setting a new standard for excellence and that the WNBA will need to adjust to meet the force she brings. The rest of the league isn't just on notice. They're on the clock to rise to the challenge. If her 2024 season was historic, her determination suggests that the 2025 season could redefine what dominance looks like in the league.
You never know how quickly they're going to adapt to the WNBA game coming from college. And I think that Caitlin has done surprisingly well, how quickly she's adapted to this game. There's a lot of doubters out there, as we all know, and she has proved them all wrong.
Clark's fierce rivalry, her competitive nature is legendary, a quality that has defined her journey and set her apart, whether she's pushing herself on the court or striving for accuracy on the golf course. Her spirit extends beyond basketball and into every aspect of her life, from casual games with fellow athletes to golf with friends. Clark's will to succeed permeates everything. This is best demonstrated by a story from her college days at Iowa, where she was renowned for turning scrimmages into competitive events. Clark played with such fervor that every practice felt like a championship game, according to her teammates.
Competitive Caitlin is at practice that sometimes she has to issue her technical fouls. Can you just give examples of that competitiveness? But then
happened in a while.
She wants to win. She hates losing, so that's where that comes into play. The technicals and just, I don't know, our managers are refs at practice, and so that can kind of get out of hand sometimes.
They're horrible at reffing.
But then, she's so goofy and fun and loving in the locker room.
This relentless approach is not just a switch she flips during official games. It is fundamental to who she is. This mindset carried over into her rookie season in the WNBA, propelling her to an incredible performance. However, Clark's competitive nature is not limited to basketball. She also participates in friendly golf matches with friends, which still gives her the same edge. Even in informal activities like a water gun war with her friend and fellow star Aaliyah Boston, Lexi Hull, a teammate of Clark's from the Indiana Fever, jokingly made a joke about how playing golf with Clark may feel more like a mini tournament than a laid-back outing. Clark's will to succeed was clear, and her friends are aware that when Caitlin is participating, no game is just a game. Her multifaceted competitiveness not only strengthens her character, but also motivates her to practice for basketball and golf, which both test her patience and focus qualities that translate well to the court by placing her in scenarios that call for flexibility and strategic thinking. Clark keeps improving her mental acuity.
I haven't played with anybody on any other team, but some of my teammates golf. Actually, one of my teammates was a state champion golfer, so she's pretty good. I actually haven't played with her yet, so I think she might be scared or something. I don't know why. Her game must have gotten rusty when she became a professional basketball player, but no, some of them do play, but we like to go out there and have fun. Obviously, it's hard during the WNBA season because it's in the summer, so that's the one tough thing about the W is it's in the summer, so I don't get to go out and play as much as I did in college, but it's been fun. Obviously, we're really competitive with whatever we do, so there's some intense battles out there.
What does this signify for her WNBA comeback? Her unwavering drive for success and everything she does give her rivals the impression that she is still a long way from achieving her peak. Clark's involvement in the LPGA tournament may appear to be merely another activity, but it's more than that. It's a continuation of her unquenchable desire to push herself, learn, and apply that improved perspective to basketball. The WNBA is not only up against Caitlin Clark, the basketball player, but also against Caitlin Clark, the relentless competitor who brings the lessons learned from every game, sport, and challenge back to the hardwood. Clark's unwavering competitiveness is not just a personality trait, it's her strategy.
I feel like I'm just scratching the surface. I feel like there's just so many areas that I want to improve in and to continue to get in the gym and work on that every single day.
Caitlin Clark's ambition to be the best is demonstrated by her rigorous off-season routine. What makes her stand out isn't just her words, it's the endless, meticulous work she does behind the scenes to fulfill that promise. This off-season, Clark has mapped out a rigorous training plan aimed at improving her game, her focus, her shooting accuracy, adding a dependable mid-range floater to her arsenal, and her left-hand dribbling and scoring ability. These elements will not only make her more versatile, but also help her counter the defensive strategies opponents will surely bring in her second season as she polishes her off-court routine, which includes skill-focused sessions and strength training targeted drills. It is evident that Clark approaches improvement holistically. With these new tools in her arsenal and a sharpened mindset, Clark isn't just preparing to defend her place among the best in the WNBA, she's preparing to redefine it. Every element of her off-season schedule has been thoughtfully chosen to address specific challenges she anticipates in her sophomore season. She knows she's a marked player now, and the league will be ready. What might this signify for her 2025 campaign given her unwavering dedication and improved skill set? Clark is positioned to surpass her stellar freshman statistics, setting new benchmarks and intensifying the Indiana Fever. Her rivals have been warned, and the stage is set.
There's something about the way she plays the game, her passing, her shooting, that people really identify with. So I really feel like we're poised and we're set up for a great, successful next era of Fever basketball.
Caitlin Clark's recent actions represent a radical change in how athletes view their longevity and career advancement, and they go beyond simple off-season anecdotes. Her unwavering quest for excellence extends beyond her personal numbers and could have a significant impact on the WNBA as a whole, motivating teammates like Aaliyah Boston, Lexi Hull, and Kelsey Mitchell and forcing rivals to reevaluate their tactics. A precedent is already being set by Clark's mix of leadership abilities developed at gatherings like the Women's Leadership Forum and her unwavering commitment to training. Her official. Following their first postseason in almost 10 years, court initiatives indicate that she is not only trying to keep up her momentum as Rookie of the Year, but is also hoping to step up to MVP levels. Street will greatly benefit from her drive. Clark's work might be the spark that turns Indiana into a strong contender for the title and creates new dynamics on the floor.
In women's sports, it's a big opportunity to be a part of this rising tide that we're all experiencing. And everybody in this company's all in. Everybody in this city's all in.
Fans, analysts, and even rivals will be closely watching to see if this off-season dedication translates to dominance on the court. Clark's drive suggests a larger shift that could inspire more WNBA players to diversify their skills and push their boundaries. As we look ahead to the 2025 season, the key question is still whether her fierce ambition and TR training will push her past her rookie benchmarks and into championship territory. With her diverse athletic experiences and unmatched work ethic, she's poised to disrupt traditional expectations and redefine what a sophomore season can look like. In reaction, the league may see a more competitive, well-rounded match that draws in both new and devoted viewers. In addition to succeeding, Clark is positioned to spearhead a change in the way WNBA players practice, compete, and motivate. The upcoming chapter promises to be nothing short of remarkable. More than just an intriguing off-season story, Caitlin Clark's journey from the basketball court to the golf course is evidence of her unmatched ambition and drive. Her involvement in leadership roles, coupled with her unwavering competitive spirit and demanding training schedule, sends a strong message. Her declaration at the Forum, which is based on her drive to be the best in everything she does, sets the groundwork for an incredible sophomore season that the whole WNBA should look forward to. Clark isn't just here to play, she's here to dominate and inspire. Fans see an athlete who pushes the envelope in sports, encouraging young ladies and serving as a constant reminder of the value of unwavering commitment. The Indiana Fever and important teammates are well-positioned to gain from Clark's increased drive. It's unclear how far Clark's commitment and spirit of competition will carry her, and if her example will redefine what it means to be a contemporary WNBA athlete. As the season draws near, the question of whether the NBA is prepared for the next level of Caitlin Clark told us in the comments to turn on all notifications and subscribe so you don't miss anything. We'll see you in the next one after you click the video on the screen.